Okay, so Darren, excellent. Okay, so hopefully Darren gets in. If you don't, Darren, just hang up and come back in again.
I'm praying.
We had a couple of questions. Richie, you made $1 million. Hi, Darren.
Hiya, how you doing?
Sorry for keeping you.
That's
We're running a bit longer.
I'm glad I worked out that we were on American time and not UK time. I was.
We're on the right time.
I was quick to confirm my slot. I hadn't figured out I was going to be on at 12 o'clock UK time, but all good.
Yeah, see, I thought you were. Paul never told me you were this side of the water, so we rescheduled.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Okay, Darren. So tell the world who you are.
Yeah. Well, really, quite a while ago, 20 years ago, I started to get into trading, investing, forex, stock market. Took the approach most people did. Had a quick read, few books, tried to learn a bit online. Thought I knew what I was doing. Got online, put my money on the line, and lost most of it pretty quickly. Realized that you probably have to know what you're doing and learn a bit more. And to cut a long story short, I ended up getting to trade one-to-one with some of the world's top traders, including a few of the guys who won the real world money trading championships.
Oh, wow.
And I basically got them to teach me what they were doing. And these were guys, one of the guys started with $10,000, turned it into 1.1 million in 12 months, won the world trading championships. Met another guy, won the world trading championships 3 times, got him to teach me one-to-one, and learned some pretty incredible stuff. And
wow.
Started to apply it all, and within a few years made several £1 million. Had a lot of people asking me, how did you do that? And started teaching people close to me. And then more and more people started asking me, well, teach us as well. And I thought, okay, fine, let's turn this into a business as well and actually start teaching people how to do this.
Wow. So that, I mean, I noticed one thing, if I'm not mistaken, what I heard was the power of a mentor was amazing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's, I did before I did that, I read loads and loads of books, probably 200-300 books. I attended about 30 different training courses on investing, which was useful. It's good to know the theory. It's good to know what's supposed to work. But I mean, nothing beats sitting down next to someone, seeing them trade, seeing them making money, and you go, okay, that's the real deal. That's what works, and I know what to follow now.
My father, Darren, has an expression for that. And he says it's a bit like going to a Catholic priest for sex advice.
Yeah.
I have to say it. But it is like, you're going to someone who can talk about it but's never done it. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure quite a few of the trading seminars I went on, the person teaching it had never traded in their life.
Wow.
And you could kind of, as you learned more and you knew more, you could kind of see who knew what they were talking about and who didn't. And it's like, okay, that person, they're not really walking their talk there. So, but it's kind of, it was a fun process anyway. I went through the pain of losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then somebody told me the statistic. They said 95% of traders and investors lose money. And when I heard that, I thought, okay, there's an opportunity. If you can get into that 5%, that's a heck of a lot of money coming your way. So that was the plan.
Warren Buffett said that people in Rolls Royces go to, what is it, the stock market, what's the name? Wall Street. Go to Wall Street.
Wall Street, yeah.
To ask investing advice from people who got there by trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, most people who are investing, almost all private investors, have pretty much no idea what they're doing. They're basically gambling.
Okay.
And just by knowing a few simple rules, few simple strategies, you're suddenly way ahead of the pack.
Okay, so give us 3 things you must do.
3 things you must do. First of all, I would say just learn a couple of simple strategies that work, that you know work.
Okay.
And then the thing is, even when some people learn what works, they then break the rules. And you've got to follow the rules. What I found is quite often women are better traders than men. because they tend to follow the rules more. Men, we've got big egos, and we want to do our own thing, and we break the rules and we mess up. But it's pretty much follow the rules, find a good simple strategy, keep it all nice and simple, easy, and takes a bit of practice. I mean, you don't kid yourself that it's going to be all smooth running, but once you practice and get into it, it's fairly simple. It's kind of knowing what to do, first of all. I would say probably the biggest mistake people make in investing is I'll tell you what you should do. You've got to make sure you let your profits run and cut your losses short.
Okay.
And most people do the opposite. They let their losses run, they cut their profits short.
That's why it's gambling, isn't it? Because I've lost, so I keep putting more money on to get it back.
It's because it's very emotional.
Yes.
And if you start losing money, you're like, shit, I'm going to stick with this until it gets back to at least break even.
Yep.
And then when it drops even further, you're like, well, I'm definitely going to stick with it now because I don't want to lose that much money. Drops even further, and you're like, okay, well, there's no point in selling it now. It just keeps dropping quite often. So you got to have that. I mean,
that's a really good point. I think that's like some stories that I've heard. I don't know a lot about trading, but I have some friends that were very active in day trading and for an organization that they worked for, and they were very, very good at it. Top 2 guys in the company. But they said most of the people would do exactly that, where they're holding on to the sinking stuff until there's nothing left, and then they're over there smashing their keyboard on the monitor, and the keys are flying off everywhere, and they're having a fit because everything became so emotionally driven, and they didn't stick to the rules. That was basically the message that they would give me when I would ask them how they're so good at what they do. They claimed they had very strict systems that they stuck to and tried to not let their emotions drive their decisions.
Yeah, definitely. There's actually a really simple way around it. A lot of people say, well, how do you overcome your emotions? Because when you got your money in the markets, if you start losing money, it's pretty emotional. Simple way to do it, you print out the rules on a piece of paper, you stick it in front of your desk. Before you do any trade, you tick off each of the rules. Rule number 1, use a sell stop. Put it, which limits your loss, basically. Rule number 2, and you check you've done each of them, and if you haven't, you don't do the trade.
Yeah.
And keep
so we've
nice and simple. Follow the rules.
Nick, which is, how much do I need to put into the account to make it worthwhile if I'm a beginner?
Yeah, I mean, you can start with a couple of £100. You're obviously not going to make $1 million pretty quick, but you can start small, start with a couple of £100 and just start to apply some simple stuff until you see that it's working for you. And once you see it's working, put in a bit more money. But yeah, a couple of £100, that's enough to get going, try it all out, see how it works. Good way to start.
Okay, so you said you lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Why?
About 40,000.
No, how much? Why?
Which was
why
which was pretty much
money? Lack of experience.
I should say at the time that was pretty much everything I had plus a bit more.
Wow.
So, why did I lose that? Well, first of all, I hadn't really learned what I was doing, and I was just so blatantly breaking some of the most important rules of investing, not using sell stop to protect my capital, not letting my profits run, not getting into good, strong sectors. So looking back on it, I was just crazy to even be on the markets without knowing what I was doing. So
basically what you're telling me is you would need a good, strong guide to do this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff online about learning to invest. There's a lot of seminars, a lot of books, but it's knowing out of all the stuff out there what actually works, what makes sense. And I think part of it is, as I said, you see someone doing it, real money, real trades, making money, and then okay, they obviously know what they're talking about. It's working. So something I used to always do when I was teaching the training courses, on all the training courses, I'd trade live my money in front of everybody. Yeah. And I'd say, you want to see this work? Here we go. Here's my money. Watch this work.
Wow.
Like, okay, you can't argue with that, really. So
that's, hey, Brian.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey, Brian as well. How you doing, Brian?
Have you a question, Brian?
Well, Darren, I mean, we're not all that different. I'm in the real estate investing niche, and you're in this. Cool. You're in the stock niche. So, I'm the type of guy that I like to target people in your niche and tell them to wake up because my niche is a lot better.
Like a lot. I do the same thing, actually. Like surprisingly,
I got a couple hairs at a place. Hang on. But no, in all seriousness, the stock market scares the hell out of me, and
as it should, I should say.
It's kind of a big casino as far as I'm concerned. So why take that kind of risk? Because you don't know if it's going to go up or down. It's all assumptions. And when I invest in real estate, it's not based on assumptions. It's based on facts, and it's a little bit more slow moving. So if the property appreciates, that's fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, it's a bonus. But I make my money when I buy, but then I get that money when I sell. To me, it's just, and I'm just trying to create a little energy here because I'm curious to know how I can get more of your people to come over to the dark side.
Plus, to be fair, Brian, did you not come from a similar world as Darren in your previous life?
Say that again?
Let me 1 second. I'm just going to walk over here and grab my power. I just see my computer's about to run out and I didn't plug it in.
I was saying, what I was saying, Brian.
It wasn't the heat was on and I was doing a runner. I'm coming back.
So, did I make you uncomfortable, Darren? I'm sorry.
No.
So good. So the question was the stock market, bit of a gamble, bit of a casino.
A little bit more than a bit, in my opinion.
Why don't?
But
so is real estate.
Yeah. So I mean that is the reason why the stock market is so good, because for most people they're just gambling.
Right.
And if you know what you're doing, there's a heck of a lot of gamblers out there ready to give you their money.
Now that's a good answer. That's actually a really good answer. So how can you take advantage?
Oh, that is the answer.
So how do you win against the people that don't know what they're doing? Pretty much.
Because there are just simple rules that you follow. It's a numbers game. Yeah. It's like if you know what you're doing in the stock market, it's like you are the casino. Sure. You have the odds on your side, and all the other people who are playing, they're the gamblers. And the more you play, you're not going to win every time. But if you've got the odds on your side, the more you play, the more you win.
Okay.
I know if I do a certain number of trades.
My coffee's been delivered. Look at this.
I know if I do a certain number of trades overall, I will end up winning.
Sure.
Yep.
But it's kind of interesting because I used to about 7 years ago, I got into property in a big way, real estate, investing, which was great. It's easy to make money when property markets are going up.
Yeah.
When they start dropping, it's not so easy to make money.
See that, Brian? I had to.
But with the stock market, when the market's
after the property market, so I had to get a storm back on it.
Wait, that's not. That wasn't.
When the stock market's going down.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say when the stock market's going down, it's very, very easy to make money. It's actually easier to make money when the markets are dropping.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand the concept, but it just seems like complete speculation to a degree. There has to obviously be strategy in there. I don't know. Obviously, you've probably heard of the name Donald Trump.
I know Donald Trump, yeah.
So whether you love him or hate him, I reread his book recently, The Art of the Deal, and on page 197, he says, the New York Stock Exchange happens to be the biggest casino in the world. The only thing that makes it different from the average casino is that the players dress in blue pinstripe suits and carry leather briefcases. If you allow people to gamble in the stock market where more money is made and lost than all the casinos of the world put together, I see nothing terribly different about permitting people to bet on blackjack or craps or roulette. Because he was talking about, okay, should we make gambling legal? So, I'm just trying to spice it up a little bit.
He would be slightly biased now, Brian, let's be honest. He would have made a few quid.
Say that again?
He would have made some few quid on property Trump.
I was going to say, yes.
Well, German
advocate of property. What I would say is, I guess you've heard of Warren Buffett.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I've heard the name before.
The third richest person in the world. How did he make his money? Stock market investing. Yeah, that was how he made virtually all his money. Stock market investing, and usually what you find is most of the richest people in the world actually made their money from stock market, not property.
So my advice
Over to you.
is learn from Darren and then learn from Brian and do both. Blessed be the
I actually tell people, I love the debate, but I actually tell people stock market, Forex, and property, of course, it's a good thing.
Yes.
You want to diversify, you want different streams of income.
So Brian, you came from Wall Street, right? Initially out of school.
I worked on Wall Street, but it was actually not for a stock company. It was an insurance company. So yes, I worked on Wall Street, but not I wasn't not trading.
Okay.
I didn't do trading.
Look at Tony over
Darren,
there.
how do you learn more?
Yeah, I was going to say it.
In response to the Warren Buffett thing, I mean, but this guy, he knows his, he's in that world. He's buying companies that he's not buying stock. He's actually has real deep ownership in these companies. But anyway, so if you're going to teach somebody how do I get started? Because you said follow these steps. What are those steps that I would need to follow?
Good question.
Well, part of it is to learn kind of some of the stuff that Warren Buffett does and some of these top investors in the world, which is learning about the fundamentals. Because Warren Buffett, he goes into a company and he looks at certain financial criteria. He's not just going in and meeting the staff and kicking the wheels. He's saying, what's your profit margins? What's your debt ratio? And he's looking at various numbers. If you want to invest for medium to long term, you want to do the same thing. And that's part of what you got to know, what to look for. Mm-hmm. And then there's people like Larry Williams, for example, guy who won the World Trading Championships, 10,000 to 1.1 million in 12 months. He was doing it very much on the technical analysis. And technical analysis, if you know what you're doing, what to look for, trend lines, support resistance levels. If you do it properly, you have got an advantage over most people. But as I said, it's a great thing to get good at because most people don't know what they're doing. And to most people, it's a big casino. They're gambling. Right. If they want to gamble and throw their money your way, fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah, fantastic. If you know what you're doing. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Darren, give us do you want to put a link in the chat?
Please do.
Yeah, I'm actually tomorrow evening, I'm giving a webinar where I'm going to teach 3 specific strategies, like in full, complete strategies, which work really well. So if anyone wants to join that, quite welcome to. I'll just grab the link here. And if you in general wanted to get a couple of lessons with some of the stuff that I use, I'll stick a link. Should I just post it in the chat there?
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Perfect.
Cool.
So 7 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
I know that you put that in.
Yeah. We had a bit of a discussion yesterday.
Darren, thanks for letting me pick your brain. I appreciate
I dropped
it, man.
a couple of $100 in the fund as well. So good luck with that. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Great job.
Thanks,
Darren. Thanks. I will talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
That's awesome.
Brian, I'm going to kick you as well to the bit because we have 2 more guys coming. Thanks for coming out.
Tony's tough.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on, Brian. This is awesome.
Hey, no problem. No problem. You guys are doing a great job.
Like really pushing that because I think a lot of people have questions about trading and as well real estate, and they're 2 of those really mysterious topics that people know you can do really well in them, but at the same time they're very nervous and they hear all the stories about how people lose, a majority of the time.
Yep.
So that's the theme I liked was that folks are sticking to very specific strategies and not getting emotional about it. Like you said, when you buy it is when you make your money. And I think that what Darren was mentioning, he has very similar rules with his sell stop orders and going into strong sectors and things like that. Like he has a checklist that he goes through to try to, minimize risk as much as possible.
But let's be no. Sorry, I'm having 2 conversations. The interesting point, I think, on all of it is if you don't know what you're doing,
right,
you have 2 choices. And this is what I found through kind of all my business career, which is running a long time.
100 years at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're old, man. You are old.
I'm very old. Look, see, grey hair.
Yes.
If you so you have two choices, and this is the thing: learn at your own expense, or find someone who's already done it, and learn cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that honestly is
my biggest regret, is that I was stubborn and initially when I was starting out tried to learn everything on my own in a dark vacuum of a room, testing, trying, figuring things out. And I know that if I would have gotten a good mentor, it would have fast-tracked things by years and years and a lot less money and loss. Not just in terms of cost, but profits too.
Tom, do you want to come in?
Yeah.
Since you're up.
Yeah, there's only so much you can learn from a book. At some point, you've got to bite the bullet and you got to go for it.
Yeah.
And you got to put your risk and your trust into somebody, and hopefully it works out.
You're better off to have a mentor or a guide, somebody who's already done it, because when I had retail shops, we opened, we got lucky, we started doing stuff, it started working, no reason why it did. Then I started going to the top retail guys, started learning how they qualify and quantify their business, and all of a sudden you're going, hang on a second, these guys are working out per square foot, these guys are doing this, these guys are doing that, and they already have done it. So the experience is there, and it's a much less cost than going out trying to do it yourself, especially property. Like I have the scars of property here. I wish I'd met you 5 years ago. Same with the stocks.
Yeah. Well, but the other part is, and I know we're going to get to me later. I was just jumping in because it was investing.
Yeah.
Is who do you trust? There's people out there that they don't know who to trust. So, especially in my niche, especially in my industry, it's rampant. And and it's like that in every industry, and that really ticks me off because good people don't know who to trust, and you can easily be coerced or persuaded to buy something that person. How do you know if they're qualified? So there's a lot of building that trust is a hard thing.
It is, and I have tons of direct mail sitting over here on this side of my desk from real estate investment folks, and I can tell, like back in 2006 or so, we started to get a bunch of this kind of mail, like come to my seminar, learn how to flip properties, do all this stuff, and now I can feel that the market is kind of doing that again. I've noticed like there was a lull in those direct mail pieces. And now there are tons of invites to come to conferences here in Atlanta anyway. Learn how to flip, learn how to invest, learn how to do all this stuff. And it makes me feel that...
if it's in my case, I seem to have lost most of my relatives in Africa and all these different countries who've left me millions. I never met them, but they've left me all this money.
Well, you better go get it. You're closer to Africa than I am.
Well, that too.
I think Tom's trying to join us.
Yeah. I think
all right, you guys want me to step off and let somebody else on?
Because we're just moving times around here on the other side.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on the schedule, and then people are Facebook messaging me as they want to kind of come in. But does anybody have any questions for us? I see a few over here. Tony, you can probably see them as well. I think some of these may have been answered already.
Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry. Where can I, Nick James? Where do you guys want us to go for donation? Here you go. How are we doing on the donate page? Tom, it doesn't seem to be working, so I'm going to kick you and dial in again. So how are we doing donation-wise, Jeremiah?
We're doing pretty good. We're about to do better because I'm about to leave some money myself. Let me get out the wallet.
Yeah, come on, guys. Let's raise some money here. Everybody's got a little bit of money in their pocket. Let's divvy it out.
All right, let's see here. I will tell you once I put in my payment information, which I'm not sharing with everyone here. Why not, right? We're in a giving mood. Let's see. All right, I'll tell you as soon as I hit submit. Okay, so I just donated